Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitchin with Laura. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is having a great Friday. Well, as promised, I am starting this one and I will have a picture during the whole stitch with me right up in here so you can take a good look at it. I'm going to move my basket of scissors for right this second. It's getting quite full. I think I'm going to have another basket. So, I haven't found any. Oh my goodness. And the color, for before I forget, is $7.99. So, yay. And I did crunch this a bit, but it didn't crunch down a whole lot. So, for those of you that like it to be a little bit stiffer, then it's perfect. And it will get softer as you go. So, what is everybody up to? Yesterday was a little busy. I went to go get the little pizzas, the personal size pizzas, at Godfather's with my daughter. We needed to just go out and just not do much. I had to stop at the I call it the fabric store because I think it's called the quilt company is what it's actually called. They changed it from when that older man I told you about had owned it before, him and his wife. Gosh, since my kids were like in first grade-ish, they had that store for a long time. And then he passed away last year sometime. And wow. So these ladies took over the store. I guess bought, or I don't know if they bought the building or if they're leasing the building or what the deal is. But yeah, so they had been there a whole year. I could not believe a whole year has passed. So, I went in and got some threads, just for my big one. I don't know, something in my body is telling me that there should have been an extra thread pack with that kit. So, the ones that I thought were, you know, very small amounts, I just went ahead and got a skein of them. It's no big deal, you know. I think I spent a whole $10. I was just so I have it if I need it and it won't go short. So we'll see how it progresses as I, you know, keep stitching on the big one. So I stitched on it yesterday and I got out another one. It was, I think it's called Rooster and Poppies. It was a 14 count, so I put a couple threads in it. Told you I was itching to do a 14 count, so yeah, this other one will have to, that I got this morning from DIYChoose, will have to be started this weekend as well. So we'll see if we can get it started. Sorry, I had to go backwards for a bit there. Then, after we went there, and then we went and got lunch, and we went back to my daughter's house, and we ate and gabbed for a while, so we had a little mom and daughter time. And, what else did I do? Oh, then I left there, and I went to, the thrift store here in town, and what did I get? I got some doilies. Hang on, I'll show you what I got. So, let me get you back out so you can see. So, I bought this little, everything needs to be cleaned. This little thing that looks like a mason jar. And I'm going to set it on my table over there by my rocking chair. Because all I had was this little box thing. Well, it wasn't big enough. And I need something to set my scissors in, so all I have to do is grab them, because if they're on the laying down flat, they're really hard for me to pick up. So I got that, and I got this cute little box. It's kind of ratty-tatty, but I'm going to, I don't know that, oh, that's attractive, Laura. That was just special. I'll trim it up, but I'm going to set the box on the table. Hang on. And then put this like beside it, but just to keep all my needles and thimbles and stuff in. But yeah, but this looks like something somebody bought from, you know, say Michael's and then did it themselves. But I just like the box. And I got this 3-dimensional leopard-ish thing. It says made in China on it. But it did have, you know, it's like somebody made it into like a refrigerator magnet. But I'm going to use it. I don't know that it'll hold needles or not, but we'll have to see. But I just thought he was kind of cool looking, so yeah. And let's see, we'll get that out. Oh my gosh, we're just attaching to everything. Hold that thought, guys. So I won't. But I did find some nice older doilies. I seem to be collecting them. I don't know which side's right side, I guess. But I don't want to pull that because heaven knows I wouldn't know how to crochet it back together. I know how to crochet, but when it comes to using that thin thread, it doesn't happen. Then I got this bigger one that I thought I could set that box on, see? And it's kind of a thicker cotton thread, like maybe that cotton yarn, but this is very small grade, but it was kind of antique-y looking. So I thought, why not? They all need to be washed. I'm telling you, I'm going to lose every one of them things of thread. And I found another. Is that the same one I showed you? Nope. So this is another one. It looks like a pineapple. Yeah, I always did like that pineapple thing. The pineapple design. Yeah, I couldn't get it to work for me for nothing. And I found another round one. But yeah, I'll give them a hand wash. And then I had a square one that I found, kind of a square one. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat. And that's all I found. Couldn't find anything else, but just thought I'd share that with you. Sometimes you go in there and you find a whole bunch of stuff, and the next time, not so much. So, yeah, whoops. Sorry. Whoa. Come on. Get there. There we go. So, yeah. So that was kind of fun. Because we forgot to go. We got all the way home. She goes, we didn't get to go to our favorite place. And I'm like, oops, sorry. Yeah. And sometimes they have a lot, sometimes not so much. So we've kind of been giving them a wide berth since summer. And we'll go in there real sporadic like. So, yeah. And I don't know, she didn't mention going down to Salida or anything anytime soon. So, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe after we both get our taxes back or something. We'll just keep on trying. Her and my son-in-law went down to Colorado Springs, which is about we'll call it a 2-hour drive-ish. You know, depending on weather-ish. And they went to this thrift store. Now, I don't know what the name of it is, but she said it was huge. And they picked some stuff up, but she said they had all kinds of stuff down there. And they had gone to, I believe it was also in Colorado Springs, if I'm not mistaken. this antique mall, so they were pretty tired by the time they hit that, so they didn't get to completely, what do you call it, look at this store. So, man, I'm going to need a thinner needle. So I'll have to change that, but it'll be fine for today, but we'll see. I decided for the video purpose that I would start in this upper right-hand corner, but I may change over to work on the cable car. I'm not real sure. And there's one right there. Are you kidding me? Seriously. Oh, goodness. But that was... Oh, and then I came home. I rested. And I went out again about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And got the stuff to make Kung Pao chicken. So I made that for dinner last night. Of course, we got plenty left over to make it all the way through Saturday, I'm sure. And that was really good. And that took about an hour, hour and a half. I wasn't timing it, but it turned out pretty good. And I just kind of... What is going on? Why does that look weird? Yeah, we're going to need a smaller needle on this. Some of this fabric seems like it's closer, we'll call it woven. Would that be the word? Than others. And others are just fine. Absolutely just fine. So, I always have 26, or size 26 needles available in case I need them. I use sometimes 28s on 14 count. And what did I do with those scissors? Oh, there they are. And, let's see, 28 count, size 28 needles on 14 count. And on 11 count, I use 26s. And they seem to work just fine, especially if it's really tight. And I've had kind of tight 14 counts, too. You know, especially after you start adding all the colors around and you have to switch things out for, what do you call it? For confetti and stuff. Screw it. We're just going to put a knot in this. I'm not in the mood. Yeah, I know. I've been pretty good about not putting knots in my thread, but it's fine. It's perfect. It'll work. And I haven't noticed too much of a difference, you know, in how much thread I'm using or not using. I'm tired of thinking about it. Just stitch. You know, I get that way. I don't want to get all finicky. I'm not that person. When I need to stitch, I need to stitch. Seriously. I'm trying, guys. That's what happens when I talk and I stitch at the same time. Oh, come on. Seriously? Some days. If it gets all knotted up, I just pull the needle all the way down to the fabric and just run my fingernail against it. And it straightens itself right out. Okay, let's begin again. And stitch. Jeez. Sometimes I'm just so excited to stitch, I just don't care about it, all the technical stuff. Just give me some thread and a needle and put me in a corner. I am awesome. But I've been that way since I was 5. So, and before it got to be stitching, it was a color book and a box of crayons. I was good for all day. Didn't bother anybody, just sat there and colored or later on, I just stitched. I could occupy my own brain for hours. I don't know if anybody else was like that. I was just more the quiet kid. I didn't want to go out and play rough and rowdy with everybody else. That never appealed to me. I don't want to go get dirty. So I'd rather stay inside and do artsy craftsy stuff. But my daughter seems to drag me to the woods quite regularly to go up and down hills and mountains and stuff. See, my kids were the complete opposite. You know, they'd rather be outside playing in the snow, playing in the dirt. Oh, yeah. They were not me at all. And I couldn't not really interest them in... I mean, they would do painting and coloring, don't get me wrong, but when it came to stitching and all that, they wanted nothing to do with any of it. So I'd have to make up some kind of artsy-craftsy projects. We lived in Wyoming, and at that time we were living in a tent. And their dad would go off to work, and we're living in a tent. And this was in the summer. So I made up a book. We'd go to... Dang it. We would go to a park that was close. And we'd pick leaves. So it was spring going into summer. And we'd color, you know, across the leaves, and we'd write what we thought they were, and, you know, we had no clue. But it kept them occupied, and we'd glue them to paper, and, oh man, the times I have to use my brain for artsy-craftsy projects. Now it's like, okay, internet, what do you got? Because my brain is just gone. Because we were trying to think of something to do with the kids, you know, when they were a little bit, the grandkids, when they were littler. Yeah, both of us ended up on the internet and YouTube and every place else looking for some kind of kid project that we could accomplish. So, yeah. And now they're just getting way too big for all that. Oh, goodness. So it'll be interesting to see what this turns out like, you know, whether it will have the detail in it or not. That's why I kind of want to start on the streetcar. But here we are. So we'll see if it has good details or it doesn't, or just what. And I did notice that along in the picture, on the left-hand side, you got that streetcar here, going down this way towards, we'll call it the bay. It looked like it had those old Victorian, well, I think it was probably Victorian, huh? Right? You know what I'm talking about. We'll call them the gingerbread houses. Do you know what I mean? So, we'll have to take a look at that and see if any of that shows up or not. So. Oh, well. Oh, come on. Alright, guys. I think that's going to be it. I know I didn't get much stitching done because I wanted to show you that stuff. But, yeah. Alright, guys, thank you for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and please hit the bell. That way you'll know when my next video comes out. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye.